Welcome on in and happy Monday. We're so glad you're with us for a Wolfie music vaccine home treasure kind of day. How's it going, Kelly Collis?
Yeah, we do have all of those things to talk about. We are going to talk about concerts, things that you can put on your calendar with fingers crossed as we
Hang on,
start.
just so I'm clear, like someone with musical ability will be at a place that's a little bit higher than everyone else with a sound system, and people will get to go listen to that.
Yes.
Okay. Just want to make sure I'm perfectly clear on that.
Yes, and which is super exciting. We also have I don't know, Tommy, your stories, your adventures of you returning back to your hometown over the weekend.
Yeah, and apparently they're giving out vaccine like juice boxes up there because OMG, what I saw, wait till you like hear what I saw, especially if you're like in the DC area and you've been experiencing the like questions about vaccines and all of the things. Wait till you figure out how it's going down in Scranton.
No, maybe we should do a road trip.
I was thinking about running a bus trip, as a matter of fact. We'll get a bus trip. You'll get a snack. You'll understand where Grotto Pizza first came from. We'll swing by where Joe Biden's house was, and we'll go get a walk-in vaccine. And it's $100 round trip. You pay me. Obviously not for the vaccine. You're paying for the experience of the cultural tour of Scranton.
Right.
But the bus will just stop. Anyway, we'll explain all of this in just a few minutes. It's unbelievable. Plus, Jayson Werth, the former Nats player turned farmer, is now selling his gigantic home. And we've got some photos from what Jayson Werth's, what he lived like when he lived in DC.
It's pretty bougie.
Yeah. Holy cow. I expected him to live in a cave somewhere, but no.
No, he has children and a wife.
I know, but he is kind of caveman-y. I thought
No.
He lived in the side of like the Rock Creek Park or something, but no, he did not. Quite a life, that guy. Also, we're going to go ahead and check out WolfTrap's brand new attraction that has a self-guided music, art, and wellness walk situation going on. Plus, the main event, why we may be going to Maine to find some buried treasure, y'all.
This is so cool.
If you missed any of our previous shows, my goodness, how are you getting by? Just go to the Real Fun DC app. We got it all on demand there or anywhere you get your podcasts.
Live from DC. Broadcasting around the Beltway and beyond, it's Tommy and Kelly made in DC on the Real Fun DC channel and on demand anytime, anywhere you get your podcasts.
All right, so let's get started. Thank you for putting up with us. If you tuned in on Friday, we had a replay going on. I got the chance to go back home to Scranton, Pennsylvania, right outside in Mountaintop. My grandmother, who was in a nursing home, was not able to see visitors for the last year plus, and it was the first chance to go get to see her in person, which was awesome because we've been doing the Zoom thing, and obviously it's just not the same. She is in a memory care unit, and so it was great to get to see her because she does not have the Zoom setup that we have. And she looked terrible on the video. And I was like nervous for the whole year. And when I saw her in person, she looked great. So that was awesome. We got like a half-hour window of when we got to see her. So that was really cool.
That's great.
It is crazy, though, how they do like visits at old folks' home. And like the staff at the place that my grandmother is, my gosh, they're amazing. Because they were asked to do all of the things that they weren't trained to do over the last year. And they've been like incredible. And they've been able to keep everyone safe. There were some patients who had COVID. My grandmother was one of them who had COVID in the nursing home. A lot of them made it through, but like just the things that these men and women were asked to do is just nuts. And now they are like running like a prison visitation system, basically. So like you check in and then they like do your temp, you scrub your hands, and they're like, go in the room. And literally they took what would have been like someone's room. They put a table in. You can sit on both sides of the table. No touching, no hugging. Because we're like, I'm only half vaccinated. My mom hasn't gotten her shot yet, so like we're just. My grandmother was vaccinated, but like it was basically like everything but the glass and the phones.
So you couldn't hug your grandmother?
We definitely did not do that.
Right.
Definitely not. Did not do that.
All right. Yeah. I saw some people I hadn't seen in a long time over the weekend, and then were not my grandmother, and I hugged them. So,
Well,
and
there you
I'm
go.
not a hugger. So I just can't imagine you and your mom going to go see your grandmother and there wasn't any hugging going on.
Yeah,
Come on.
totally. Definitely not. We would never do that.
There's no proof that hugging spreads the.
Listen, I'm just a rules person, Kelly. I'm just.
I know
following the
you
rules.
are. I know you are. Sometimes it's
Following the
okay to
rules.
break them.
As soon as the warden walked away, though, there was a little bit of a hug situation going
The
on.
warden.
Maybe.
Oh my gosh.
Can't confirm or deny. But then like I spent the weekend, we went and got like good pizza, like where Grotto Pizza's originally from, like all of that stuff, right?
Mm,
You're just not even fighting me on that, are you?
no. Nope.
All right, great. I've won. Battle of attrition. It took 10 years, and here we are. As we're leaving, though, we ran into the pharmacy to get chapstick for my mom's aunt. We were doing a lot of like family errands yesterday. And I'm sitting under the sign on the side of the road. And the sign at the Rite Aid Pharmacy at the corner of 309 and Kirby Avenue, if you want to go and check this out for yourself, the sign said, "Walk-ins welcome, vaccines now available."
That's great.
Yeah,
it's like
absolutely.
It's like the flu shot.
So I know all of those words: walk-ins welcome, vaccines now available. I had not seen them in that order before ever. And I had to read the sign like 4 times. Like it just being in DC and the way vaccines are being rolled out here, I just like it. I could like it fried my brain. I didn't understand.
I think I'm not alone in that because so many people like there's a lot of things that you probably experienced this weekend because you've been so isolated in DC and like that's your only world that you know, right? You haven't been able to travel, you haven't been able to like leave the DMV. So when you see things that are different, because I've done a little bit more traveling than you have, it is striking. Right. Because like, we're used to one thing. Well, that's great though. I mean, I heard over the weekend, like there was like 4 million people were vaccinated over the weekend or something like that. It was like ridiculous numbers.
Totally. Yeah, no, it's awesome. But then also like there wasn't a line up the street either for the walk-in vaccine appointment. Like I literally was like, walk-ins I was like sounding it out. Like I read it like 3 times because I was just like, walk-ins. I can walk in. They're now,
amazing.
It was just.
Your mom could have gotten vaccinated then.
You know what? I didn't think about that. And then, like as we left, I was like, "Why did she just get vaccinated?" But then also, like, what if it was the 2 shots and we had to like come back? And
no, now you can schedule your 2 shot anywhere. That's the new thing.
Really?
Yeah. Yep, that's
hell.
I know it's so hard because the world is changing. Actually, just wrap your head around this. Okay,
Yes.
like we're a year into this pandemic. We have millions and millions of people that not only was a vaccine like developed, discovered, manufactured, but now it's like being distributed in millions of people's arms. On Tuesday, just let me land on this one. On Tuesday, my son is taking the SATs for the college entrance. He still has to have 10 number 2 pencils sharpened and ready to go. How is it in the world that we live in where millions of people are being vaccinated in the middle of a pandemic with all the things that had to happen to do that the SAT college admissions exam still is in the same rut of having number 2 pencils? I just don't understand.
Sounds like you should ask Felicity Huffman about that. She would know what to do.
I don't know about that. But you know what I mean? Like you can go to Walgreens, get your number 2 pencils and get vaccinated. I don't know. I just don't. This world is just upside down sometimes.
Because they're still feeding this SATs through like the bubbleometer machine, probably.
Right. But there's a vaccine that was developed in the middle of the pandemic that is now globally distributed. How?
Because all the scientists who were going to fix the SAT problem got pulled onto the vaccine thing last year.
I guess so.
Real talk, like as like you just like triggered me a little bit on something because as like a former student, I remember being so nervous about filling in the bubbles. Like I had like anxiety about like what if I knew the right answer but the machine didn't read my bubble right.
I know. We're trying right now. We're being cool. Like there's no stress. Everything's cool. You're taking this test. We're prepared. I mean, I'm talking myself off the ledge. I'm not even taking the damn test.
Is it still out of 1600 or is it out of like 5011 now or what is it?
No, it's out of 1600. Yeah.
Is there a writing thing that adds extra points on it? Or
they used to be one and now they've taken that off.
and that's gone.
That's gone. Yeah.
I remember I got like a 12. I took it once. I got a 1200, and I was like, "No, I'm good. That's about right."
That's a pretty good score, Tommy.
Right, and they were like, but it was like so lopsided. It was like 700 in like verbal and like 11 in math. 11.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's surprised by that.
No, not at all. Well, good luck to him. That's awesome. It's SAT Eve.
Yeah, well, I didn't mean to take away from your vaccine shot, but that was like sort of my realization. As you can get vaccines, walk up in Mountaintop, Pennsylvania. There's still number 2 pencils on the SAT.
No, I think that was the perfect way to bring it all home. Okay. Did you find the number 2 pencils, or was there a run on them like there was toilet paper and everything?
No. I mean, Amazon, way to go.
You know why, Kelly? I think this is an issue with Big Pencil. They've been the lobby group has been keeping themselves employed, knowing that SATs would come around and they would need a big boost in sales.
Right. I mean, kindergartners are learning over Zoom. I mean, but you still have to have a number 2 pencil for an SAT.
Are they taking it in person, or is it a home thing?
No, they're in person.
Did they do it in person last year?
No. The class last year, the ones that are seniors this year, they got really lucky. A lot of schools are not. Just say we're not looking at SATs. that is a silver lining.
Total silver lining.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's still some schools, maybe when my son, that may not require it.
Wow, that's awesome.
I know.
I feel like you can get around that. Like, you're going to take the first SATs after the pandemic? Come on.
Well, now we're all socially distanced, and he's signed up to do it tomorrow.
Oh my God. Big Pencil. So Peggy just commented that Big Pencil uses the Brussels sprouts lobby. So
what? I don't get it.
I've never talked about this on the show before. So my friend Peggy works on Capitol Hill, and she was like, Brussels sprouts have got to hire the lobbyist that kale has, because for some reason Brussels sprouts have lost popularity and kale's everywhere. And so she's always talking about big kale.
Oh, poor Brussels sprout.
The Brussels sprout lobbyists, man, they're not doing their job these days.
They need a publicist.
Absolutely. So we're talking about some concerts coming back, which is amazing. We're going to talk about some real life concerts, but then also WolfTrap just announced that they've got this really cool socially distant art walk exhibit. So check this out. You can go to WolfTrap and you can walk around their beautiful park. It's the only national park in the country for the performing arts. And now when you go there, you can get an app that they have, plug in your headphones, and listen to a Sound Walk by Ellen Reed. This is Ellen Reed. She's a composer and she's an artist, and she spent a lot of time in the national park and put together this immersive experience of original music and some other favorites. When, as you walk through the park, it uses geo-targeting and it will play certain pieces for you as you're at different places. Super cool.
That is really cool. And just like a great way to enjoy like all the things, right? Music, the outdoors, getting some exercise, just chilling out. Very cool.
So once you get there, there's all kinds of sign of like what app to get. You can scan your phone, all that stuff. But as WolfTrap is like working like so many venues to bring concerts back, this is such a fun way to go about it. And you can go literally anytime that the park's open, and this will be active through September 6th. So you've got all the time to go check out Soundwalk.
That's very, very cool. I can't wait to see a concert at WolfTrap. This is like the beginning, right? This is just like scratching the surface.
Totally. I cannot wait to check it out as well. Speaking though of actual concerts in place, this broke on Thursday. I actually don't know if the Anthem has said anything about this yet, but Eric Church, the country singer who also performed the national anthem at the Super Bowl, he announced his tour schedule. And the Anthem in DC is on the tour schedule.
Yeah, they're at the very end of December. I told that to my daughter, and she's like, "A concert? Eric Church?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have no idea what it's going to look like. How many seats? Yeah, I don't think the Anthem has, or the IMP, the holding company, has said how that's going to work."
Nope, not yet.
Not yet. Yeah, there's still some hoops to go through, but that's exciting that stuff is on the calendar. And I will tell you too that I went to Nats Park because they had some concerts that were rescheduled from last year, and they're still on the calendar. The Guns N' Roses The Green Day, the Motley Crue concerts that were scheduled for last summer are, sorry, my dog just walked in and scared the poop out of me. That they're still on the calendar for this year. So I don't know. Like, are we going to see concerts at Nats Park this summer and then Anthem over the winter?
That would be awesome. Actually, on the Anthem website right now, which I was surprised about, they have actually some concerts posted that look like they're still going to happen. Let me share this with you, Kelly, so you can see it too. They've got 5 Seconds of Summer, Five Sauce, June 3rd. That is not canceled. You can buy tickets to see Five Sauce.
Well, but say that's going to be interesting because I don't know what the restrictions are in DC with the concerts. I don't remember what they are. I think they're like 250.
But
right?
Isn't this like the Five Sauce tickets that you bought for your daughter when she was like 11?
Right, but so that's what I'm saying. Like if you, let's say they sold out like whatever the Anthem holds, 5,000 people, 3,000 people, whatever it is, and you still have your ticket. Like I have the Billie Eilish ticket that I was supposed to go see, but they're doing limited capacity. How do you pick who goes?
And get there early, I guess.
That's true.
But you run through the Anthem, like Mamma Mia is canceled. But then when you get into like August and September and October, they've got stuff on the calendar, and those Eric Church shows are on their website. You can buy those tickets starting at 10 a.m. on the 7th of May. I see. I know you're not bouncing with me to the Ticketmaster website, but you can get them then and there. Look at that.
That's pretty cool.
I feel like the Eric Church thing is happening like at IMP, at Anthem, but it's a Ticketmaster. You can buy tickets on Ticketmaster, and IMP and Ticketmaster are not friends. So I feel like maybe they just rented the room, and that's a Ticketmaster and Eric Church problem to figure out.
Got it.
That could be how that's going down.
As they say, it's complicated.
Totally, and it's not going to get any less complicated, I don't think, as this all goes down. What do you say we check out Jayson Werth's man cave? Look at this. So these photos got posted because he's selling his home. NBC4 had the exclusive look like inside of his house. Kelly, have you ever been inside of Jayson Werth's house? Have you ever seen it?
Of course not. I've never even had an invite.
Well, I didn't know. You're pretty connected. But I don't know what I thought Jayson Werth's house would look like. This is not what I thought it would look like, though. It's very bougie and fancy.
I know he lived out in Virginia, I think in Great Falls. So he's not a big people person. So those houses out there are pretty huge. And he did sign like, I want to say $120 million contract with the Nats. I mean, he's got some money.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying like, I understand that it's like massive, but like lady in the dress framed in the bathroom, not the art, not the like design that I would have thought Jayson Werth would have had. I would have thought it would have been like Eddie Bauer threw up everywhere.
Are there any photos of his like quote unquote man cave, like where all of his Nat stuff is? Or is it, oh my God, that house is huge.
It's massive. No, so like this is obviously staged for like sale.
Right.
But it's got its own backyard patio in case you wanted to, start a restaurant. It's got that back there. Fire pits, pool, and he has his own batting cage as well. Cabanas by the pool.
Right. We're not surprised by that.
This is unbelievable, right? Garage,
oh my God.
Like car lift. Yeah. Yeah. I wonder though, like when you're selling real estate that's this out of like the stratosphere bananas, I wonder if those cars come as like when you stage your apartment to sell it, sometimes the realtor like brings in a couch.
Yeah.
I wonder if the realtor is like, we'll just pull the show Porsches in and just use that. Or
you know what?
Are
that might be. Oh, look at that gym. That's gorgeous.
Home gym. You got some Nat stuff on the wall.
How much does it go for?
A lot. I honestly don't know. But I'm just I want to get you to look like the decor. The decor does not seem like something Jayson Werth would do for decor.
Oh, I think that's cute. Like a little kids' room.
Like the little kids' rooms are adorable. Like neon pink pillows. Not a thing I would think Jayson Werth would go for.
Well, maybe that was his wife.
Right. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying it's not the taste that I imagine Jayson Werth to have.
It's cute.
Is that a massage table
It
by the
looks like
sleigh
it.
bed?
Yes, it looks like it. I mean, Jayson Werth doesn't need a desk, right? That looks like a
Right.
study, right? That's his desk. He needs to get massaged.
I feel like he doesn't have a file cabinet. That's true. Yeah, like what's
Right.
he gonna? That's a weird thing. If you have like you have 1,000 rooms, you put the massage table in the library? I got a lot of questions about this. This is apparently where the Hobbit lives that he has on staff. I don't know. But these are beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, his batting cage is there somewhere. But there you go.
All right. So I'm seeing it's on the market for $6.4 million.
6.4 million. Well, there you go.
It's down from 7.5. I put it on the market right at the beginning of the pandemic.
And it's still on the market.
Yeah.
Hence why they let cameras in to do a story about it. That makes a lot of sense now.
And I wonder if all the furniture can phase.
I don't know. I mean, where else would you put those giant 78-foot curtains?
Right.
He's not like bringing that with him.
Yeah, you never know.
Look at that. So if we all put our money together, we're still not going to get anywhere near close to buying Jayson Werth's house.
I mean, that's just the price of it. Then you got to heat and cool it.
Oh, my goodness. And the taxes.
And the taxes, of course.
And the upkeep. My gosh, you got to imagine cutting all that grass.
Oh,
A lot going on there. If you want to get involved, or maybe you're also planning on buying Jayson Werth's house, you can hit us up anytime in our group text at 703-782-4519. Love to hear from you there. We hit all of our things, right, Kelly? I'm like going back through. We've been like promising things. Oh, the treasure hunt. We got to talk about the treasure hunt in Maine.
Yes.
The Maine event.
This is really cool. So this couple that lives in Maine has been for the last several years finding locations all throughout Maine and hiding stones. And if you find 7 stones through this very elaborate treasure hunt, you win $20,000. Now, what they're doing it around the anniversary of Maine becoming a state. I guess it's the bicentennial, 200 years. And it is really cool. You have to buy, you'll see there's like playing cards. You have to buy these playing cards and the clues. And those take you to sort of on this treasure hunt, literally, to help find these 7 stones that unlock where the $20,000 is.
Huh.
And I just think it's super cool. They say that there's a charity component to it where part of the funds go to a cancer institute. They've sold out of all the decks. They say it's legal and environmentally friendly, and it's really just to celebrate how awesome Maine is.
That's awesome. And Maine is like a state with not a ton of development. So you could hide some stuff real good in Maine.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I just think like, way to go. Way to be creative. Whatever you did the last year to make this happen. And, they said it took them at least 3 years to do all of it. But I just love that it's not just like, bleh, like I hit a treasure. It's like, it literally is these playing cards. And how much fun is that if you're really into puzzles? Which I hate puzzles. Like how much fun would that be to go on that hunt? And not even for the money, but just to like do it.
Yep. It's so funny you brought this up. So I've been like, it's been a very treasure-full weekend. I was in Pennsylvania, as I told you, and have you ever heard of Oak Island?
No.
Okay, so we watched a lot of History Channel at my mom's friend's house. And Oak Island is this island where there's believed to have been like buried treasure. Like
where is
potentially it's off Nova Scotia.
Okay.
It's like a little bitty island off Nova Scotia. It looks like basically like they're thinking like Knights Templar buried stuff there. And people have been, these 2 guys owned this island for years, and they were like feuding over it because both thought that there was treasure on the island. They both died. Their sons have since worked together. And then they've brought in all of this like zany cast of characters, and it's an 8-season series on History Channel. Had no idea this was going on. But yeah, same thing. They've been like hunting for all this treasure. And it reminds me of like this Maine thing where they're like scanning the ground and using like x-rays and like
have they found anything?
Things. They found like stuff that would lead you to believe that there is a treasure there, right? So they found like buttons from like colonial soldiers and like cannons and muskets and all of these all these like writings and like these maps from France from like the 1700s, like all of these different things point to this island as a place where there's treasure, but no one seems to know exactly where.
That's interesting.
Then it goes down this like it could have been the Freemasons, and it gets down this like whole rabbit hole.
Yes, conspiracy theories.
Oh yeah. I think Beyonce hid some treasure there at some point. Like there's a lot going on. No, she didn't. Okay. But if you follow the Freemasons long enough, you get to Beyonce. It's a weird place on the internet. I'm just telling you is all. Really cool. So there's that. So I love this. I think the main thing is a little bit more like accessible. Like the average person doesn't need a boat. You can just go do it.
Yeah, well, also, but that does bring up the point. I mean, not that but if anything were to happen to this couple, like I hope they like told like it's written down somewhere of where this leads you. I don't know how that would work, but maybe it's in an attorney's vault somewhere, or I don't know.
It's got to be a lockbox. It must be a lockbox. Totally. So to continue on the treasure thing, because a lot of treasure this weekend, there was also this book called The Secret, which is not the Oprah's book, The Secret. It's this guy who loved puzzles and loved treasures, and in like the 80s had an artist commission these images and poems that tell you where there are plexiglass boxes buried. There's like 8 or 12 of them. And if you find the plexiglass box, inside is a stone key, and you turn the stone key in, you get like a precious jewel. Think like big honkin' ruby or like big honkin' emerald. And you get a pin that says you found one of these things. And people have spent decades trying to find these things.
And no one has found them. So
far, they found one in Cleveland.
The only treasure there.
I mean, since Drew Carey left, what else have they got? And I think there was one other one found too, but like they think that they're by the Fountain of Youth, like the Ponce de Leon like park. And they're pretty sure that there's one in Virginia, and they're pretty sure that there's one in New York and Chicago. And like, they're like, but like this guy has since died. And so his daughters know where the answers are, but they've never even looked at the answers, like out of respect for the dad. And like the artist who drew the maps, like the clue maps, was never actually told the specific location because he was like told to turn it in half done, and then someone else like finished it. Like this guy was not messing around.
Wow.
Yeah.
Someone's got a lot of time in their hands.
A lot of time, a lot of creativity. But treasures, I feel like this is like the new thing. Maybe 2021 is the year of the treasure.
You never know.
You can play a little Bruno Mars treasure. It's all good. We'll be right back.